some fundamental currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just, pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, or especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money, and probably we'll just have energy, power generation as the de facto currency.
Elon Musk so pointedly explaining how energy is the true currency. This video started making its rounds over the weekend, and shortly after, Bitcoin and the rest of crypto started dumping. Even Robert Kiyosaki selling $2.25 million worth of Bitcoin, saying the biggest crash in history is starting. These are his exact words. He's not the only one calling for the greatest depression this country has ever seen, citing the cascade of AI killing jobs equaling a real estate crash, putting a $27,000 target on gold, $200 on silver by 2026, and expecting Bitcoin to rebound to $250,000 by 2026. The question, he says, isn't if, but when. And while there is more downside risk, we will cover this in the charts a little bit later on. Hang tight for that. There's a very bullish catalyst shaping up right now. President Trump said Sunday night that he has decided on his pick for the next Federal Reserve chair after making clear he expects his nominee to deliver interest rate cuts. He says, and quote, "I know who I'm going to pick, yeah," Trump told reporters on Air Force One on his way back to Washington without naming his choice. Rumors heavily speculating that Kevin Hassett is now the dominant favorite for the next Fed chair. He's a pro-crypto hawk aiming to slash rates towards 1%, and if this becomes official, well, this could be very bullish for crypto. Folks, there's no doubt about it that this turbulence in crypto and stocks is getting very unnerving for many people. A lot of people coming to our community and asking, what can we do to position ourselves differently, to diversify portfolios? What can we do? And I'll say it again, we keep driving people to Altcoin Pro University to get the best education that they can. And through Cyber Monday, we've been running this special all weekend. If you haven't been able to jump into it yet, you have the opportunity to get into a 7-day free trial at altcoinpro.com. That link is going to be down below, but this means that you will get full access to 100 expert classes, live weekly calls with our research team, daily altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, airdrop alerts, private global community, state of the month market reports, 20% partner commissions, plus the annual only bonuses if you decide to stay as an annual member. And here's the best part. This is basically a 21-day completely risk-free opportunity to jump into Altcoin Pro University. Guys, I've talked about this in videos extensively. Technical analysis essentials class is right there for those who are looking to get into day trading, diving into DeFi, ironclad crypto security strategies, crypto tax mastery, and so much more. But when we say 21 days, you've got a 7-day free trial. You've got a 14-day money-back guarantee if you are not absolutely satisfied at that point. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to blaze through all of these classes, get connected with this community with over 1,000 people that are currently doing a lot better than a lot of other people in cryptocurrency. So check out the links down below. Give me a comment, 777, while you're down there. Stick around for the rest of this video. We're going to jump into the charts, check out where these markets are going, the rest of the epic breaking crypto news, what you can do to place a hedge of protection against yourself. And if you're going to be the first millionaire in your family, smash that like button, hit subscribe to affirm it. Let's run into the video. What's up, bull runners? Welcome back. I am JR, your favorite crypto dad, and wow, what a much bigger weekend than expected. By the way, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving if you were celebrating, or at least some good family time throughout the weekend. Salesforce reporting that American consumers spent $18 billion on Black Friday purchases, up 3% from a year ago. Luxury apparel, luxury accessories being the most popular categories. Hero Dividend on X pointing out that this is actually a recession indicator, the data suggesting that he is right. The U.S. total credit card debt reaches $1.233 trillion in the third quarter of 2025, the highest amount since tracking began. And if that's not enough of a recession indicator, just look back. When in doubt, zoom out. 2007, the start of the Great Recession, online Black Friday 2007 spending was up 22% year over year. ComScore called November through December e-commerce 19% year over year record. 2000 to 2001 recession holiday retail sales 7.6% in 1999. 5% in 2000, strong growth. Post 1999 peak, sales stayed solid into 2000 before a late year weakening. That recession started in March of 2001. Unusual whales pointing out the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. While the U.S. Black Friday spending hit $11.8 billion, 9.1% from the year earlier per Adobe. With the higher overall spending, consumers purchased fewer items because prices continued to climb, according to Reuters. So while we're seeing inflation supposedly ticking down, the reality is the talk around the dinner table is that everything still costs more, still going up in price. So what do you do to hedge a protection for your family? What do you do to earn extra income on the side? Have you figured out a way to diversify your portfolio and get into day trading? The paycheck isn't cutting it anymore. I'm going to share with you guys a tip, a trick towards the end of this video after we get through the market updates. Let's look at coin market cap first things first. Fear and greed index is sitting at a 20. We are at 2.92 trillion dollars. You can see that big drop takes us late Sunday night from $3.1 trillion down to $2.92 trillion. And then we've got the altcoin season index sitting at a 24. Altcoin season total market cap actually moving fairly sideways. Now hold tight for a second. Let me show you something, guys, in the charts here. First, let's look at Bitcoin. Where are we at? At the time of this recording, these numbers will be subject to change from the time that you see this video. And these are also my charts, not your charts. So do with them what you will. It's not financial advice, simply informational and educational purposes. Bitcoin is at $85,899 at the time of this recording, slowly coming back up that little wick you can see there from where it dropped down. But where did it drop down to? Just barely through this area of support, right around $87,000 to $88,000. We didn't even come back down into that low that we tested off of $81,000, $82,000. Are we done? Do we have more room that we can go? Yes, absolutely. If you've been watching all of our videos on this channel, you've been watching my videos specifically, I've been looking at the 1100 EMA, puts us down at like $72,000 to $74,000 range. That's where I would expect to see us bounce. I'm not calling $50,000 Bitcoin or $10,000 Bitcoin. It's not to say that it's, not out of the realm of possibilities. It's absolutely possible. I mean, 2012, Bitcoin dropped 50% in 6 hours down to $200 and ran back up to almost $1,200 very, very quickly. So it's very possible. But what I'm looking at is the 1100 EMA, right? And I look at the Wolfpack indicator down here, which is the 1100 and the 50 making their crosses. We're still bullish on the daily candles. That's fine. Ticking downwards a little bit on that. What I'm more curious about is the rest of the overall crypto market. And if you noticed, we talked about back here at Coin Market Cap, the altcoin index and the altcoin market cap. If you look at others, this is all other cryptocurrencies against Bitcoin, excluding the top 10. So this is more of a retail indicator. You can see there was not that much drop on these daily candles. It's just been a slow churn. We've been dropping down a little bit. And yes, we've been rounding over. We've been rounding over on Bitcoin as we go back to that. We've been rounding over on Ethereum a little bit as we go back to that. There's that 50 still way up there. But again, we've bounced off of the 1100 on Ethereum. This is, again, another retail indicator for me. This is showing that the retail strength that's here is strong. Retail is virtually non-existent when it comes to new money moving into the asset class of cryptocurrency. That's absolutely true, right? But the money that's here is exhausted. That's what I want to say. Retail is completely exhausted. And you're probably like, even me at times, I'm kind of, hedged out. We're sitting on the sidelines waiting to pounce, or maybe didn't hedge out, and still sitting there watching a bag going down, wondering if it's going to continue to go down. And the reality is in the short term is that we may still have some downside risk. And we'll even jump into XRP and talk about that one I'm not as worried about XRP dropping as much as I am more about Bitcoin dropping, because there's a little bit more stability and strength. There's still a massive amount of ETFs launching, which is just fantastic. And that's bringing a lot of inflows in. So while we see about the same percentage drop in the major players here, there's more of a supply issue with XRP than there is with any of the other big ones right now. That's the supply is being scooped up by ETF launches. An incredible percentage of XRP has moved off of exchanges that is being held privately in wallets, but it's going to take a catalyst to bring the liquidity in, to bring the money into crypto. And that is where, maybe something like a new Fed chair could actually be what does things for us and pushes this ship forward. That's very, very possible that could take place. We see interest rates drop. That's really good for risk assets. We're excited about that. Everybody's excited about that. But in the interim, what have you done to find a way to make money when these markets are going up or down or sideways? Have you found a way to get into day trading? If you haven't found a way to get into day trading, we have an opportunity for you down below where you can jump into breakout. This is a leaderboard here where you can see the incredible amount that people are earning in this platform. But the cool part about it is you don't need to risk your whole portfolio. There's people that are even sitting back with 10 grand in crypto, not a whole lot, right? 10 grand in crypto. And they're saying, well, I wouldn't want to risk more than 10%. And you don't have to. You could pay the amount for the test to get into breakout, and then you're going to be using the prop firm funded account after that. You pay $1,000 for this test, you're going to get $1,000 account to play with. And there's a whole bunch more details. If this sounds interesting to you, I've got one more question for you.
What if you could trade with $100,000 without ever risking any of your own capital? Well, I'm doing it right now, trading a 100K funded account with zero of my own money on the line. I just paid a one-time evaluation fee to take a trading test. That's it. Because everyone's been asking us, how do I get crypto loans? Or how do you leverage trade without risking any of your own capital? Well, that's exactly why we're leveraging Breakout, which is a crypto prop trading firm recently acquired by Kraken with over 10 million clients, 2.5 million funded accounts, and over $1.5 billion in revenue in 2024 alone. They will fund you up to $200,000 after passing one simple trading test. And you get to keep up to 90% of the profit, and you can withdraw in USDC 24/7 after passing the trading test through the link in the description of this video. Now, here's the problem that I've seen most people face. Let's say you're trading with $10,000 of your own money. That's your rent. That's your groceries. That's an emergency fund. And one bad trade or black swan event and poof, your account is completely blown. Rent's late, savings is wiped, and your family is stressed out. So you're not trading to win. Trading your own money is trading for survival. Whereas trading with 100K of risk-free capital is freedom. In fact, if you only have $10,000, you should never be trading with all of that. Instead, if you took just 10%, which is $1,000, and you buy the 100K or the 200K breakout test, and you pass the test, well, you're going to be trading with six figures without depositing or risking any of your own money. This is what I'm doing right now. And if you fail the test, you only lose $1,000 instead of your $10,000 because you shouldn't even be trading with $10,000 of your own money in the first place if you can't pass a simple $1,000 trading test. And the best part is there's no limit on retries. So that $1,000 can give you 10 shots at a 100K account if you fail the first few. That's 10x better risk management. And that's how you prove you actually know what you're doing. And this is the smartest strategy that the best traders in the world use. That's OPM, other people's money. You pass the test, you trade Kraken's money, and you get to keep up to 90% of the profits. And you can withdraw USDC on demand 24/7. So I paid, I passed, and now I'm trading 100K, and it only cost me $1,000 rather than risking $100,000 of my own money. And now it's your turn. So do not buy the small test. You're here to scale your portfolio fast. So here's exactly what you need to do right now. I left a link in the description of this video, and when you click it and select the classic one-step 100K or 200K account test, you simply click start trading, and then you enter in the affiliate code 777 on your checkout to get the maximum discount on your 100K or 200K funded account. And make sure to check the add-on box for the 90% profit split. It's only $100 extra. It pays for itself in your first payout. And if you skip it, you're leaving 10% on the table forever. So it's well worth it. Then you simply pay for the test, you pass it, you have an unlimited time frame, and you get to keep up to 90% of the profits. And again, you can withdraw in USDC anytime that you want after you pass the test. That's it. Now, we do earn a small commission when you use our code 777, but it supports value-based videos like this, and it'll help you get the maximum discount on your 100K or 200K funded account test. So click the link in the description right now, take the test, and let's get you funded.
Guys, remember that code 777. Let's see where XRP and where Bitcoin and the rest of crypto is going to go. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.